This is Maria in her studio on a Saturday morning, and I'm kind of excited because my son was in Eugene and was able to pick up an order for me at Georgie's, a large pottery supply store in Eugene. So here's what I was able to play with, and I think part of the fun of pottery for me is experimenting on every kiln load. I'm trying something new, and I don't think there'll ever be an end to that. So a lot of this is new for me. I bought just the right quantities to kind of test some new things. This is Georgie's clays. This is Dundee Red, Trail Mix Cinnamon, Pioneer Dark Stoneware, and their G-Mix 6 stoneware. And this one is Speckled Buff, which I have used before, but you know, I'm ready to try it again. And in addition, I was able to get a lot of the mineral ingredients and mason stains for mixing up some more additional of my own glazes. So I'm excited to get started out here today. I have lots of projects, and we'll probably try to show the development of the life of a mug through the process. So this is the beginning. So I take 800 grams of clay, center it, and I center it by coning it up and then pushing it down into the hockey puck shape. Then open the center and do kind of a claw pull, keeping a volcano shape. And I add my sponge, some water, inside and out. And I start doing my pulls. It takes about 3 or 4 pulls. Always compressing the top. This is Georgie's Dark Pioneer Trail Mix clay. There's some grog in it. I think mostly at first about getting the height, and I want 6 inches on these mugs. That's what makes for a good 16-ounce mug. They're 3.5 inches at the mouth, and usually a little wider than that at the bottom. There's some more clay down in there that I can pull on up for the height on this one. This is a 6-inch pasta. So see, that one's way taller than 6 inches, which is just where I want it, because then I can use this to kind of push it out a little, make it wider. And that's when I can decide if I want it to be bellied out or whatever shape I want at that point. Sometimes a nice straight-walled mug is very nice to have. But let's put a little bit of a belly on this one. We'll kind of belly them out a little bit. And then we'll bring it back in right there. It's kind of a nice mug shape. Always getting all the water out of the bottom, because water is an enemy to clay and it will make it crack in the drying process. And also I'm compressing the bottom, and I'm also making it a little bit wider down there at the foot. At the same time, so all those things are happening there right now. And that's the shell of a mug. That's a pretty good one. I'm pretty happy with that one. We'll compress the top, so we'll have a nice lip resting place. And that one's ready to dry for a bit, and then we'll put the handle on it. So today, in the life of a mug, these are leather hard. They're a little bit on the moist side, but I'm gonna go ahead and trim them. You want to see that bead of string come off like that. I like to make a little notch by the foot. Makes it easier to have a little grabbing point for dipping into the bucket of glaze. That's a trick I learned from watching Vaughn Smith, one of my favorite YouTube pottery folks to watch. Vaughn Smith in Nova Scotia. I'm going to make a little bit of an indent here. You can make your mug straight across on the bottom, but it gives me a place to put my maker's mark and ensures that it's going to be concave and, you know, sit on a table nicely the way it should. Take a rib. This red rubber rib, nice and soft. Gonna smooth that out around my edges. I'll take my maker's mark carefully, because you don't want to poke a hole in your freshly made mug. I might, sometimes at this point I could add some texture. I might not, I might add texture later, but I might want to just draw a line, because I'm going to be putting a logo on this one, and it gives me a straight line. Make sure I can get my logo straight. Next, we're going to put a handle on, and I've got these handles that I made up a little bit ago. That one looks just perfect for that mug. I like a handle that does not extend above the top of the mug, because I store my mugs in the cupboard frequently upside down. And so I don't like a handle that would prevent me from being able to turn my mug upside down in the cupboard. Lately I have learned quite a lot, got a lot of feedback from people that they really like the thumb rest on their handle. So I've been adding a thumb rest. And I don't like a handle that sticks way out. I don't think there's any purpose for that. Your fingers fit like that. So I like to kind of not have the big, deep, circular kind of handle, but just to have a kind of a squashed in, long handle that all the 4 fingers can fit in it if people want it to be like that. I put a little bit of slip. Wiggle it up, down, side to side a little till I know it's got a good connection. Support the inside of the mug. Do the same. And then you want to make sure, which your little finger is your best tool here, I think, just to make sure that those seams are sealed. Sometimes I'll take something like a little handle like this if I can't get the inside, and make sure that inside seam is sealed. I'll do the same thing here. I've had pretty good luck with my handles. I don't have much problem with them cracking. I'll remove all this extra water around the seam. It also smooths back out the edges. Good handle. That would be very nice. Okay. Next, I'm going to add a logo to that mug. So it's a similar process. I have my logos waiting for me in a wet box. And see, that straight line kind of helps me get my lettering straight. So I'll just mark that, score it. This is the Georgie's dark trail mix. And this is the Georgie's, this is called Pioneer Dark. And I'll put some slip. Which is just wet clay. Put my logo on there. Kind of push it in the middle. Make sure you don't have any air bubbles in there. Someone's wanting to make a little crack. Try to rub that out, see if that will go away. And then the same thing. Use your little finger. Trying not to have to mess with your design at all. Just the edges. Step of making that mug is complete. I'll let that dry, and the next step for this mug is to be bisque fired. We have a lot of different styles of mugs going into the Come for Bisque load. This is the one we've been working on. They're dry now. They've been sitting on the shelf several days drying. We have several different kinds of Georgie's clays here, as we showed at the beginning in the video. We've done some carving. We've done some chattering. This is chattering. We did some, as we showed in the video, some slip painting. This one is very special. My granddaughter made a whale, and we turned it into a handle on that mug, so I'm really excited to see. I think it's going to work out just perfect. I think it's a lovely whale. And what other things have we done? We've got some honey pots. We've got several of those. We've got some bowls. We've got some other lidded pots. I've got a whole bunch of test tiles over here of all the different clays so I can test my glazes. We've got a couple of plates and a vase. And over there I have some garden stakes. With spring coming, I'm excited about getting started with my seedlings. So that's some garden sticks. So we're putting it all into Bisque. We'll do a pre-bake or candling for several hours just to make sure that if, in case there was any moisture left, it will be gone before the kiln starts to cook up for the Bisque firing. Okay, it's glazing day. We've got this one lined with my folk art white, and this one these are the two mugs that we have showed in the Life of a Mug video here. This one is the one we put the slip on. And this other one is the one that you saw us put a handle on. I'm going to try to carefully wax these logos so I can now dip this mug into a bucket of glaze. I've already glazed the logo and the wax will protect the glaze. Wax is tricky because the only way to remove it, if you get it where you don't want it, is to re-bisque fire the piece of pottery that you're working with. So you don't want that to happen. I like to put my wax in an electric skillet and warm it up. I use this natural soy wax And then, to get a nice straight line on the bottoms, I will just let that sit. Okay, we have a full glaze load, and these two mugs that we're following are the last two to go in. So here we are, the end of the life of the mug. This is the reveal. They're done with the glaze load. And I'm very happy with that one. Gorgeous mug. Turned out really good. Very nice. Very happy. And there's the other one, and I really like that dark clay. Remember all the different colors of clay? And now they're into real mugs, and that turned out really well also. Very happy.